Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into the amazing, super tiny world of the atom. You know, the little building blocks that make up everything around us, from the phone you're holding to the stars in the sky. It's going to be fun, so let's get started.
Okay, so to get us started, let's ask a really simple but really big question. What is everything in the world actually made of?
I want you to think about a big house for a second. It's made of smaller bricks, right? Well, it's kind of the same for everything else in the world. It's all made of these tiny building blocks. I mean, look at this diagram. Even something as huge as the Great Sphinx is built from these tiny, tiny particles called atoms.
Now, scientists have a special name for all this stuff. They call it matter. Matter, or al-madda, is basically anything and everything that has mass and takes up space. So yeah, that means the air you're breathing, the water you drink, and even the chair you're sitting on right now, it's all matter.
So, if everything is matter, what's the brick of matter? It's called an atom. The atom, or a dhurra, is the smallest possible piece of matter. It's the basic building unit for, well, everything.
Now you might be thinking, if the atom is so small, is there anything inside it? And you bet there is. So let's zoom way in and take a look at the different parts that actually make up an atom.
A very smart scientist named Rutherford helped us get a picture of the atom structure. His model, which you can see right here, shows that it has a center, or a core, with these tiny little particles that go around it, kind of like how the planets orbit the sun.
That center part, that's called the nucleus, or a nuée. It is very, very small, but it's also incredibly heavy. Almost all of the atom's weight is packed right into this tiny little spot.
And what about those particles that are flying around the outside of the nucleus? Those are called electrons, or elektronet. They are super, super tiny, they move incredibly fast, and they have what's called a negative electrical charge.
Okay, so what's inside that heavy nucleus in the middle? Well, first, we've got particles called protons, or protonets. And as you can see right here, protons have a positive charge, which is the exact opposite of the electron's negative charge.
The second type of particle you'll find inside the nucleus is the neutron, or neutronata. Now, these guys are special because they are neutral. That means they don't have a positive charge or a negative charge. Their charge is just zero.
So let's do a quick recap. In the center, in the nucleus, we have our positive protons and our neutral neutrons. And then, whizzing around the outside, we have the negative electrons. See? Pretty simple.
Now here is a really, really important point. In any normal atom, the number of positive protons is exactly the same as the number of negative electrons. So the pluses and the minuses totally cancel each other out, which makes the whole atom electrically neutral. Cool, right?
All right, now that we know all the parts, let's look at an atom's special numbers. You can think of them like an ID card. They tell us exactly what kind of atom we're looking at.
The first one, and honestly the most important one, is the atomic number, or al-adad al-dharri. This is super simple. It's just the number of protons in the nucleus. That number is what makes every element unique.
The second number we need to know is the mass number, or al-adad al-kutli. This number tells us the total weight of the nucleus. And to get it, you just add the number of protons and the number of neutrons together. That's it.
And check out how scientists write all this down. For any element, they put the mass number A at the top left and the atomic number Z right below it at the bottom left. This way, you can see everything you need to know just by looking at the symbol. Pretty clever. Okay, I know that was a lot of information, but you are doing great. So how about we try just a couple of questions to see what we remember? Don't worry, we'll do them together.
Here's our first one. The building and structural unit of all matter is... So is it A, clay brick, B, molecule, C, the atom, or D, the cell? Take a second to think about it.
If you said C, the atom, you are exactly right. Awesome job. Remember, the atom, or الذرة, is that tiny little brick that builds absolutely everything.
Great work. Let's try one more. The subatomic particles that make up the nucleus of a sodium atom are. So what's inside the nucleus? Is it A, protons and electrons, B, neutrons and electrons, C, protons and neutrons, or D, all three of them?
And the correct answer is C, protons and neutrons. Yep, we know the nucleus, or a NOA, is that tiny center. and that's where the protons and neutrons hang out. The electrons are the ones flying around on the outside.
Excellent work on those questions. You really know your stuff. So, before we finish up, let's just do a quick summary of the most important things we covered today.
So, to wrap it all up, everything is matter. All matter is made up of tiny atoms. Every atom has a center called a nucleus, and inside that nucleus are positive protons and neutral neutrons. And finally, those negative electrons are always moving around the outside of the nucleus.
You did an amazing job today. You should be proud. Now you have a really great understanding of how the atom is put together. Keep asking questions and stay curious, because learning is supposed to be fun. See you next time.